Right now at 5, a semi filled with plastic wrap crashes near Rolla, Missouri.
And it is a bit chilly out there this morning. We are warming up, and we're finally going to say farewell to the snow. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a tragic loss brings the community together for a special tribute tournament.
4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday, February the 2nd. It's also Groundhog Day.
Groundhog
But
Day.
for the record, it's Groundhog Day, not Groundhog's Day.
See, I always want to say Groundhog Day.
So do I. So I know there is just the one, but I mean, for years I said it that way, Groundhog's Day. But in reality, I learned a few years ago it's just Groundhog Day, and I'm like, it doesn't sound right to say it like that. But I mean, it's probably because you've spent your whole life saying Groundhog's Day to find out that that's wrong.
I think I also called the Tom Hanks movie Groundhog's Day too. So I think that's wrong.
These young kids. So, by the way, for you folks at home, we are officially welcoming Samantha to the KOAM Morning News. However, after confusing Bill Murray with Tom Hanks, we are officially saying farewell to Samantha Walker on the KOAM Morning News. Well, happy Monday, everybody. Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney. I know at least Bill Murray's in the movie.
Okay.
It is today. We do have a live feed with Punxsutawney Phil. He's supposed to come out at, what was it, 6:07?
6:07.
Our time, 7:07 Eastern time. So we'll find out if he sees his shadow or not. In the meantime, it's a little too dark to see any shadows out there this morning. But you know what you can see? Snow. It's been a week, more than a week. And downtown Pittsburgh showing us that snow still hanging around. It's hanging around on my neighborhood street. It's hanging around on my roof. It's hanging around almost everywhere except the main roads. But some good news. It's finally going to go away. Starting today. In fact, I think most of it will be gone today, and you'll find out why in just a moment. Live look, Westco camera, 7th and range line in Joplin. Looks good so far as well. And a quick stop to the KDOT camera 69 in Baxter Springs, or well, it's just north of Baxter Springs, but still looks good so far. Temperatures are a bit cold, a little below average for some, near average for most. Got some low 20s up north, got mid upper 20s, even some 30-degree readings. Joplin's the warm spot right now at 31. As we take a look at the future track, we have clear skies to start, but clouds will begin increasing into the afternoon. South winds out there helping with the warm temperatures, and will eventually go mostly cloudy as we head through the late afternoon into the evening and overnight hours. Kids heading back to school today, upper 20s, so again, seasonable, but look at these numbers. Upper 40s, near 50 for lunch and recess, 53 as they head home. That's where our highs are headed today. We're going to go mid-30s by 9, upper 40s by noon, low 50s for highs today, and that south breeze 5 to 10. So we're going to manage to get rid of some of that snow. Now, we do get a little cooler for tomorrow and Wednesday, but not by a lot. And then numbers like this, even warmer, show back up in the second half of this week. Go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. A semi loaded with press and seal plastic wrap crashed yesterday evening. The tractor trailer struck bridge overpass pillars and the driver was entrapped. The truck initially caught fire, but bystanders were able to put out the flame using a fire extinguisher. Emergency services located the heavily damaged semi with the occupant still trapped inside, suffering traumatic injuries. Crews quickly extracted the driver, who was flown from the scene. Bridge inspectors designated the structure as safe for continued travel. Well, a train collision and derailment shut down tracks near the Missouri-Kansas line. 2 trains collided over the weekend near Mulberry, Kansas and Burgess, Missouri. 2 tanker cars carrying a heavy asphalt-like material, a grain hopper, and a locomotive derailed. Some grain spilled, but no injuries were reported. Authorities have not yet given an estimate for when service will resume. For now, the main line is not operating through the area. The cause of the collision is under investigation. Firefighters battled a house fire in Frontenac over the weekend. The blaze started as a chimney fire, but quickly spread into the attic of the home. Crews used ladders and hoses in near freezing temperatures. Officials say the home suffered major damage. The residents are displaced, but no injuries were reported. Our stories are often discovered by you, our viewers. We invite you to share your news tips with us. Scan the QR code and you'll be taken to a form where you can submit a tip quickly and easily. Thank you for being part of the story. Well, the USD 250 Foundation distributed nearly $25,000 in grant funding to support the district's teachers. Priority is given to grant applications that enhance structured literacy and standard skills for state assessments. John Bartlow, the president of the USD 250 Foundation, says that the grant lets teachers branch out from budget concerns and try new things in the classroom.
Those projects that teachers put the grants in for, I mean, they vary from things related to STEM, things related, of course, to reading, things related to different sorts of science projects, and really, I mean, some really incredibly innovative programs that our teachers are doing.
Awarded teachers received their grants at a reception that took place earlier last week. Bartlow says he would like to thank those in the community whose generosity has continued to fund the foundation. Well, children were able to put their creativity and building skills to the test at a hands-on construction challenge hosted by Pittsburgh State University. Students in grades 1 through 6 were given a limited set of materials in just 1 hour to design something related to construction. Organizers say the goal was to make learning fun while introducing kids to careers in the building trades.
So they have 100 Legos, a piece of string, a rock, and some aluminum foil to build something construction related. So sometimes they'll build houses, sometimes they build bulldozers, cranes, towers, whatever their imagination can come up with, and they have an hour to do it.
Well, a basketball tournament took place to honor a local teen lost to gun violence. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more.
I just seen it as an opportunity to bring the community together. You know, it was a tragic time. We lost a young kid. Nobody should ever have to receive that call or have anything like that happen in life.
On January 9th, Girard High School senior Adam Bizzari lost his life to gun violence. To honor his life, friends and family organized a benefit basketball tournament in Pittsburgh.
It's a good feeling for sure, because I expected maybe 10, 20 people, maximum 30 people come out, have some food, show our blessings to the family and whatnot, but there's quite a lot of people and there's more in the other gym.
Adam's mother Amy attended the tournament, saying the support has been overwhelming from the community since she lost her son.
Well, it's a joy. It warms my heart. The support period we've had from beginning until today, and it'll probably continue, has been amazing.
With food, friends, and of course basketball, the support for the Bizzari family still continues.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for all your kind words. Thank you for stopping by and, keeping an eye on us. I'm thankful for all of that.
In Pittsburgh, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The tournament had a $10 per team entry fee, with all proceeds from the tournament being donated directly to Amy Bizzari. Well, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up next on the KOAM Morning News, a major entertainment venue will shut down on the nation's 250th birthday. Plus, Republican candidates for governor face off in their first debate of the campaign season. And snow is finally starting to melt in the 4 states. Chris has a look at your weekly forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, President Trump says the Trump Kennedy Center will be closing down for 2 years to undergo major renovations. The president says the entertainment venue will be shuttered on July 4th, the nation's 250th birthday. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said he decided to suspend operations as, quote, the fastest way to bring the Trump Kennedy Center to the highest level of success, beauty, and grandeur. The decision follows a wave of cancellations since he terminated the previous leadership team and added his name to the building. Trump announced his plan days after Melania, a documentary about the First Lady, premiered at the venue. The Kansas GOP convention kicked off Friday in Wichita. This year, people got to listen to some of the crowded field of candidates who are running for Kansas governor. Anna Valdez was there and has more on the event.
The Republican Party in Kansas hosted the first debate among some of the candidates who want to become governor. People we spoke to at the convention say the debate helps them make a decision on their vote.
I think the speakers got plenty of time to lay out where they stand and to take each other to task a little bit.
Some of the topics in the debate included the use of star bonds in Kansas, the relations between the state and federal government, education, the legalization of marijuana, and abortion, among others. Attendees say it is important to ask the candidates the hard questions.
I think it's really important to see those things, and I think it's really important to get an honest point of view from every single person and give everybody a fair look.
Some attendees say they even got to learn from new candidates and hear their proposals.
Enjoyed the debate, got to know some candidates that I didn't know anything about, so I really felt inspired about that.
Attendees say the convention and the candidates might help to revitalize the Republican Party ahead of the governor's race.
I think the Republican Party in Kansas is fired up, and I think it's a good time to be fired up with the governor's race coming.
They say the debate also helps them notice who is prepared and who is not.
I feel like, unfortunately, most people don't do enough of that, really do their homework. So this is why I think it's important to come to these things.
And with a long list of candidates running for governor, they say it is important to be informed and register to vote.
Just remember to get registered to vote and vote. It doesn't matter what.
The 2026 general election is November 3rd. The primaries are August 4th. Well, still to come, a major health organization releases its annual report card on tobacco use with mixed results. Plus, snow is finally starting to melt in the 4 states. Chris has a look at your weekly forecast. Actress Margot Robbie hits the red carpet as moviegoers in China test out new technology. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
Could this be the future of cinema? This first-of-its-kind theater in China combines movies with virtual reality technology. Unlike traditional viewings, here the audience uses remotes and VR headsets. The immersive tech allows people to move around during the film, interact with characters, and even shape some of the storylines. Tonight, get a behind-the-scenes look at music's biggest night.
In just about 48 hours, the pop culture universe will center itself directly behind me.
The television special, Inside the 68th Annual Grammy Awards, breaks down the big categories and includes exclusive interviews with music newcomers and legends like Reba McEntire.
Loretta, Tammy, and Dolly helped paving the road back when it was gravel and paving it for all of us girls nowadays. So that's what I'm trying to do for the young ladies coming on after me.
Inside the 68th Annual Grammy Awards airs tonight on CBS and Paramount Plus. The Grammys air on Sunday. Catherine and Heathcliff return to the big screen in the latest adaptation of Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Cast members hit the red carpet in Los Angeles ahead of the film's premiere. The movie stars Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie.
I think we have a very similar work ethic, and we love movies and we love making movies. I think we approach things in a very similar way.
Wuthering Heights comes out on Valentine's Day. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
I've heard it's certainly an interesting adaptation of Wuthering Heights. Well, here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Again, we are going to be warmer today than where we have been for the last several days, and that remaining snow should be gone before too much longer. A full look at your forecast and just how much warmer it's going to get when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 5:18.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
We've got a much warmer day across the area for us. I know if you're stepping out now, you're probably like, no, what? No way. Because it's still pretty chilly, but we're actually at or even a little above normal already this morning. We have south winds that'll be working in today. No gusty winds. Honestly, the forecast the next few days, aside from a couple of changes in temperature, it's the calmest and least eventful forecast we've had in the last 2 weeks. Clouds will begin to increase as we head into the afternoon and evening, so partly cloudy through the afternoon. As we go in late afternoon into the evening, we become mostly cloudy, and we go overnight, and well, we are still mostly cloudy. Now, we do have a weak front that passes through the area early tomorrow morning, so what that does is, at most, it brings temperatures tomorrow for us a little closer to normal, because we're going to be above normal in many cases today, so we will be a little cooler, but like I said, we'll be pretty close to average. We'll stick with the mostly cloudy skies throughout the majority of our Tuesday, and that'll continue into Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. I know Future Track is showing these little flurries. Don't worry about that. Even if we saw something, it's nothing to worry about. We're going to be cold, but seasonably so as we go overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. As I said, I'm not sure why Future Track is throwing flurries up there, because at this point, temperatures for even Wednesday, while they'll be cool, won't be cold enough for any snow chances out there. But you can see we stay cloudy. So that's one of the things that helps keep our temperatures down, and maybe even just a wee bit below normal as we head into our Wednesday across the area. As for today, a pretty nice climb in temperatures, upper 20s to start, mid 40s by 11 o'clock this morning. And with a south breeze again about 5 to 10, we are looking at our temperatures climbing into the low 50s for most of us. So that's what we mean by saying that the snow is going to start to go away. It's going to start to warm up just enough to kick it on out of here. Now tonight, we're going to fall back through the mid 40s, and it's a slow drop in temperatures. Again, as we're cloudy, it helps keep in some of that warmer air, eventually back in the low 30s with those northwest winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. We head down the road. Like I said, tomorrow and Wednesday, the coolest days we have. Like I said, tomorrow night, pretty close to average. Wednesday's not that far off, into the low 40s and still around the mid 20s. So that's about where we should be for our lows and for our highs. Once we get past that, we get through the clouds, take a look at these temperatures following. We head into the second half of this week and into next week. Look at Friday, almost 60 degrees. Maybe some showers on Sunday and next Wednesday. And the long-range data, we talked about it last week, was hinting at some much warmer weather down the road. We're still several days out. Things could change, but at least right now we're looking at climbing into the upper 50s and even some low 60s by the second half of next week. So we are definitely going to start to get rid of that snow. That's Check Your Forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Having a dog around could help teens who are facing mental health challenges. Researchers looked at nearly 350 teenagers in Tokyo and found that teens who have a dog at home showed fewer social issues and reported feeling better overall. The study also found teens with dogs were less likely to withdraw from others, act aggressively, or get into trouble. Scientists say regular interactions with dogs may play a role, along with possible changes in the body linked to health. More details from the study are published in the journal iScience. Well, it's called the State of Tobacco Control, an annual report card that grades state and federal efforts to reduce tobacco use. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains why experts are worried that hard-won progress in tobacco use prevention may be at risk.
In its newly released annual report card, the American Lung Association says smoking rates for adults dropped from just over 23% in 2000 to below 11% in 2023. And while youth tobacco use is at its lowest level in 25 years, more than 2 million middle and high school students still use tobacco, including e-cigarettes.
Certainly not necessarily something a report card you'd want to bring home to your parents.
Despite major strides, tobacco use remains the leading cause of preventable death and disease in the U.S., claiming more than 490,000 lives every year. And the report warns progress could quickly unravel due to changes in tobacco use prevention and cessation efforts.
I want to see us continue to fight and drive down smoking rates so nobody has to deal with the consequences.
When it comes to regulation of tobacco products and coverage of treatments to help people quit smoking, the report gives the federal government a D. It received an F for the level of federal tobacco taxes and an I for incomplete on mass media campaigns aimed at preventing and reducing use. A B was given for funding tobacco prevention and control, and state grades were also a concern.
No state got all A's, but there were a few. They got the few best states, including California, Colorado, Delaware, D.C., Maine, and Massachusetts. And then the states with the worst grades, scoring Fs in all 5 grading categories, were Georgia, Mississippi, Texas, and Alabama.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, a chili cook-off honors a beloved veteran while supporting a meaningful cause.
And even though we are pretty chilly to start the day, we are warming up. We're finally going to be able to say goodbye to the snow this week. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a Joplin baker uses her hobby to help those in need.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday, February the 2nd. As we discussed earlier, it's Groundhog Day, and we are awaiting Punxsutawney's appearance. Punxsutawney Phil, I guess we should say, because he's named for the city.
Yeah,
we're
let's
not
be
waiting for the
respectful.
appearance of the city. The city doesn't vanish and reappear on the 2nd of every February. That'd be interesting, though, if it did.
I just call him Phil.
Yeah, just Phil. He's supposed to be making his arrival around 6:07 our time.
Yeah.
So we will have some live coverage, hopefully. I know it's a riveting story of the day, but we need to know, after the last couple of weeks we've had, we need to know how much more winter's sticking around.
I think most people have their fingers crossed for spring coming sooner rather than later.
Same here, and at least now we're going to finally get. I think this is the longest I've seen snow stick around in the area for quite some time. I think the last time I remember snow sticking around like this was February of 2011, the Valentine's Day snow. We got, I think, between two different rounds, about 18 inches of snow in Joplin. Thunder snow, first time I ever experienced thunder snow. We didn't get quite that much. We didn't do any warming, so the snow's been hanging around. As I mentioned, it's going to start to go away. Let's start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh, where things are good. We have clear skies to start the day, but we will see clouds increasing as we head through the day. Westco camera, 7th and range line in Joplin. That snow still visible, mainly on grassy areas, neighborhood streets, and of course, the snow piles and parking lots. They'll take a little longer, but we've been so cold for so long that it's just not all of it has gone away yet. This is a KDOT camera, 69, just north of Baxter Springs. Looking good this morning as well with those clear skies. Temperatures for the most part pretty seasonable. A few of us a bit below normal. Iola, for example, you're sitting at 19, 18 in Stockton. We got some mid-20s, which is about where we should be, but then we've even got those low 30s. Joplin, Monette, Cassville, all at 31, the warmer spots in the area. And of course, as mentioned, Stockton, you're the colder spot at 18 this morning. We'll have south winds about 5 to 10 today, so not a bad breeze, not super windy by any means. Clouds will start increasing, so clear skies to start the day. We'll start going partly cloudy by this afternoon, and eventually by late afternoon into the evening, we'll begin to be mostly cloudy, but we will stay dry, which is certainly some good news. Kids out the door this morning, we're going to start in the upper 20s, upper 40s by lunch and recess, and low 50s as they head home later today. So a very nice warm-up in store. We're going to be going a bit above normal for us today. It's mid-30s by 9, again upper 40s by noon, low 50s for most of us for our highs. That south breeze 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, we have a cold front. It's a weak one. Comes in early tomorrow morning, brings our temperatures down just a smidge, not significantly, but we'll make it a little cooler. And then on the other side of that, we start to warm up again. In fact, we really start to warm up. Talk about how warm it's going to get in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. In Joplin, a local sourdough artisan is donating sourdough loaves to local blessing boxes. Beth Branister started this idea back in late 2025 when the government shutdown happened. She tried setting a stand-up at a local blessing box where she could pass out bread personally, but noticed folks weren't stopping.
I decided if it were me and I were needing bread, I probably would not want to show my face to someone. So I just decided to leave it in the blessing box, and then whoever came to the box could get it and have it for their families.
Branstetter chooses to bake fresh sourdough rather than buy cheaper store bread because she believes families without means should still have access to healthier options. Well, the group Respect Missouri Voters held a drive-through petition signing in Joplin. Organizers say the effort is about protecting voters' voices and making sure election results are respected, no matter who casts the ballot.
Not everybody that comes through is a Democrat or an independent or a Republican, and it's nice hearing their individual perspectives and where we may disagree on other things, but we all agree that our votes should count. And whenever we vote for something at the ballot box and it passes, it's something that should stay in law, and the legislature should have to listen to us.
Organizers say the petition signing happens every Sunday in the parking lot of Teamsters Local 823 in Joplin until the end of March. Well, the annual Oarless No Paddles Bryant Chili Cook-Off brought veterans, riders, and community members together for friendly competition, all for a meaningful cause. The cook-off, hosted by the American Legion Riders Kansas Chapter 35 and the American Veterans Motorcycle Club, honors No Paddles, a longtime member who helped make the event a tradition while he passed away 6 years ago. Organizers say his spirit and passion for supporting veterans continues to drive the event forward.
It just turned out it's been an annual event. It's gone very well. And, unfortunately, we don't have No Paddles actually here with us, standing with us here today, but he's here with us in spirit. And that's why it's such a very adamant thing that we are making sure continues on with our area.
All proceeds from the cook-off go towards projects that support veterans. This year's chili cook-off winner was Sarah Tabrizi, a member of Cherokee American Legion Post 35. The Knotts family rang out their last customer, marking the final checkout at a family-owned grocery store that served the Miami community for more than 100 years. Jim Knott shared how everyday grocery runs turned his into lasting relationships with customers.
People have come in, like I said, over the years, and sandwiches and going down to the park or getting their hamburger to fix supper or bologna and cheese to whatever. And then we'll miss them probably as much, probably more than possibly they'll miss us. And it's a mutual admiration.
The mayor of Miami hopes the site will continue to be a grocery store under new ownership. Well, concerns and questions over the living conditions, insurance, and the ownership of an extended stay motel on the Branson Strip. Chris Bryant traveled to Branson to see what is happening and what the city is doing to address the problem.
One of their local residents work in the area, and they were concerned that bed bugs, roaches, the fire problems, things like that, they're having problems with their fire suppression.
Anita Williams has been working with those who live in the 76 Family Inn on the 76th Strip in Branson, and those living in the motel tell her the owner has become an absentee landlord.
He is, and he's still having the manager take rent payments even though he doesn't have a license.
The city of Branson declined my request for an interview, but in a statement confirmed the city issued a citation to the owner last week for operating without a business license. And the city's Building Services Division conducted an initial follow-up inspection and issued a notice and order for observed code violations. Inspectors also visited the location this morning. The city says it will remain actively engaged to ensure the property's compliance with city codes. People who live in the motel noticed this letter taped to the window of the office stating the owner has 5 business days to comply with getting a valid business license. They also shared photos from inside the rooms showing some of the concerns. I called the number listed for the owner of 76 Family Inn, but it did not go through.
No, he's not. He's not even in the country. From reports that we got from the city yesterday, he's in India.
When asked about the city plans to shut down the property or if the city thinks it's safe to live in, a city spokesperson said, "We will be providing more information as it becomes available."
The locals don't have the extra money. You know, they set up themselves to where they would be okay or thought they would be okay through the winter, but the conditions have gotten so horrid in there that they are being eaten alive and swallowed alive.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Jetsons become reality as electric flying taxis prepare for takeoff in major cities. In Consumer Watch, forget bumpers and brake lights. The next evolution of ride-hailing may happen overhead. New electric air taxis are being tested as a faster way to move through busy cities. Evan Moon shows us what the future could look like with highways in the sky.
To beat the traffic, a new kind of taxi is preparing for takeoff. UK-based Vertical Aerospace is looking to make air travel easy with all-electric helicopters designed for short city trips.
You have to think about highways in the sky. Like if we go back 30, 40 years, we had the Jetsons, right? 10 years ago, people thought this was science fiction.
Capable of flying 150 miles per hour for 100 miles, CEO Domhnall Slattery tells us by 2028, Vertical will have dozens of its Velo aircraft in major U.S. cities.
The barrier with helicopters has been it's too noisy and it's too expensive. Here, 100 times quieter than a helicopter at a price point the regular person can afford.
Vertical's goal is to make air travel practical, not exclusive. Slattery compared the price for one seat to an Uber Black.
Manhattan to JFK, somewhere around $150 per seat.
They're betting big on airport commuters, like promising flights from downtown Manhattan to JFK in just a few minutes. And with plenty of space for your luggage, 6 checked bags and 6 carry-ons.
New Yorkers checking out a Velo model see the potential.
To see the concept of a flying car come to life in Manhattan and kind of like alleviate some of that difficulty just getting around the city is like awesome. And as a New Yorker, something I'm very excited about.
A vision of the near future that could look a lot like the Jetsons.
It lands on the roof of your office building. You get in the elevator, you pop in, and it takes you home. It literally will be as ubiquitous as that.
Just around the corner, a commute above the clouds. Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
Vertical is hoping to have thousands of these all-electric aircrafts across the U.S. starting in 2028. That's it for Consumer Watch, and now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Again, clear skies out there to start our day and much warmer temperatures this afternoon as we start to say farewell to the remaining snow. We're going to break it all down for you and tell you how warm it's going to get over the next several days when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now, 5:42. We'll be right back.
Farmers in Florida will be watching temperatures very closely. A look at how they're preparing for a potential crop-killing cold snap in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. Farmers are getting ready for the next round of winter weather that's expected to bring cold and snow to portions of the East Coast. Wish Farms in Plant City, Florida, sharing these pictures on social media, saying their farmers were pulling all-nighters, running water to protect the blueberry and strawberry crops. As we've reported, fruit farmers in the state are running sprinklers over their fields, allowing the water to freeze on the crop in order to generate a bit of heat and try to protect it. Now, Texas still hasn't had any reports of New World screwworm flies, but its governor is declaring a disaster. Republican Governor Greg Abbott says the declaration will, quote, better equip the Texas New World screwworm response team to prevent the potential spread of the NWS fly into Texas and better protect livestock and wildlife, end quote. More cases of the fly were reported earlier this week in Mexico. And these photos have people feeling all the warm feels right now. Macy Searle and her family live and farm in Mount Sterling, Kentucky. As storms brought freezing rain and sheets of ice, they welcomed a new calf into the world. The newborn was so cold they brought it back home, and after filling the calf's belly, she cuddled up with the kids for a nap. The next morning, the calf they named Sally was reunited with her mother, and both are doing just fine. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Now let's take it over to Chris with a quick look at the forecast.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
And it's going to be much warmer today across the region, so that snow that's been there for a week and a day will finally start to go away. That's always my favorite. Whenever we have that opportunity for something we don't like and we want it to be gone, like we enjoyed it at first, that was great. It's been a week. It's overstayed its welcome. It's always fun to say it's going to go away. And away it will go as temperatures warm today. We're going to have a south breeze, not gusty. It's going to be a nice south breeze bringing in warmer air. However, clouds will begin to increase. So we have clear skies now, but rolling into the afternoon, we start to go partly cloudy. And by late afternoon into the evening, we will be mostly cloudy. Our temperatures tonight will be cold, but seasonable. Actually, not seasonably so. I'm sorry, that's a lie. It will actually be a little above average. It's going to be cold, but will technically be above normal for many of us. But tomorrow early morning, we have a weak cold front coming through. And by weak, what we mean is A, it will bring our temperatures down, but not significantly. And B, it has nothing really associated with it other than a shift in the winds. They'll switch out of the north on us, and that's about it. We'll remain mostly cloudy to just straight up cloudy in some cases throughout the day Tuesday. That continues Tuesday night into Wednesday, and on Wednesday, same situation. We will have cloudy skies. Ignore these little flurries. Yeah, they're popping up all random like that. It's going to be chilly, yes, on Wednesday, but not that chilly. Future Track, I think, is just getting a little overzealous. It's like, you had snow before. Maybe it'll happen again. It's not looking likely. And even if we saw a flurry or two, that'd be really the extent of that. And we just continue to hold on to some cloudy skies. But don't worry, we will start to warm right back up on the other side of everything. Starting our day this morning, upper 20s out there. But look at this temperature jump. It is a nice one through the morning into the mid-40s. Bear in mind, our average high this time of year is the mid-40s. That's where we'll be by 11 a.m. Our highs today for the majority of us heading into the low 50s. Now, yeah, the clouds are going to increase, but the warm air will also be enough to help with melting some of that snow that's still hanging around. As I mentioned, south winds about 5 to 10. Into the evening we go. Mostly cloudy skies. Keep our temperatures locked into the mid-40s for a while, and eventually back to the low 30s. Mid-20s are our average this time of year. So yeah, I know low 30s are cold, but it is technically above average. And after midnight, ahead of that front, winds are going to shift out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow they're out of the north, mid-40s, so average. Mid-20s tomorrow night, cold but average. Low 40s Wednesday, so a wee bit below normal. Our lows still near average. And like I said, this is a brief cool down, even though it's not that big, not compared to what we have seen. Because take a look at these numbers. We're almost 60 on a Friday. Could have some showers maybe on Sunday, next Wednesday. And the long-range data has supported it. And I mean, we're still several days out. Things can change. We're going to keep our fingers crossed they don't. But we are looking at the upper 50s and low 60s by the second half of next week. So a nice break from the frigid temperatures we've had the last 2 or 3 weeks now. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with sports.
Thanks, Chris. Today in sports, they grew up chasing the same dream and crossed an ocean to live it. This season, that dream put them on opposite sides of the court. This year in the MIAA, sisterhood turned into rivalry.
For Marie and Marie Rose Wembajonga, basketball has always been more than a game. The sisters grew up together in Gabon, chasing the same dream, one that eventually brought them both to the United States. Now that dream has them in the same conference, but on different teams. Marie at Pitt State, Marie Rose at Arkansas Fort Smith. And this season, for the first time as college players, they faced each other.
It's a good opportunity for us to play against each other, to know who's the best.
On the court, it's strictly competition.
Sometimes we're like, you're not going to score against me, you're not going to get any rebound against me.
Even when that competition comes against family.
It was great to play against her. We play hard against each other, even if it's my sister though.
And the sisters don't hold back.
She's not my friend on the court. Like, if I have to go at her, I will go at her. If I have to push her, I will. If I have to punch her in the face, I will.
Far from home, the transition hasn't always been easy. But basketball and each other make it easier.
I don't feel like homesick all the time because I have my teammates around me.
Still, being apart is something they're learning to navigate.
It's really hard for us to be apart, so we try to stay connected every time we can.
When the final buzzer sounds, the rivalry fades, and what's left is what's always been there.
We have a great relationship. I'm her biggest fan.
Different teams, different jerseys, but no matter the score, they're sisters first.
That's it for sports. We'll be right back. Groundhog Day in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania draws thousands to watch Punxsutawney Phil emerge from his burrow. According to tradition, if Phil sees his shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter, and if he doesn't, it signals an early spring. Local members of the Inner Circle in top hats lead the annual weather prediction ceremony. I know this is something we have been watching this morning, Chris. You know, we've been talking about it. We have our team keeping an eye on it.
Yes, we do. We have we're keeping, in fact, our very own Trevor Lewis is in the studio monitoring the live feed for all the essential information. Trevor, anything new that we need to know? They were singing a minute ago, right? Still singing. They're still singing?
Still singing.
Still singing. Okay, well, that's what we're waiting for. I did just check. At least right now, it's partly cloudy in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. They're expecting a cloudy day. The temperature right now is 0, so I don't know how you sing in 0-degree weather, but that's what they're doing.
It's tradition.
I guess so. So
the tradition keeps you warm.
And he's supposed to emerge from his burrow at 6:07 our time, right? Okay. 7:07 their time, because obviously they're in the Eastern time zone, and so we'll just wait and see. We should have him live in our 6 o'clock hour. We're gonna wait, see. He should come out. If it stays cloudy, you may not see his shadow. We'll have to wait and see. I know many of us, after all this cold, probably ready for an early spring. Yeah. I personally am. I'm ready for spring. All right, let's talk about the spring type weather we're going to have at least today. Most of this week and even next week. Upper 20s to start. We have clear skies now, but that will not last, unfortunately. We'll go into the mid-40s by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon, low 50s for most of us for our highs. A nice day. Clouds, though, begin increasing across the area as we head into the afternoon. Again, south winds 5 to 10. Through the overnight, we are now mostly cloudy this evening and overnight. That locks our temperatures a bit down in the mid-40s. And while we will be cold tonight, back in the low 30s, we will be above normal, which will certainly take. Northwest winds 5 to 10. North breeze tomorrow with a weak cold front coming in early Tuesday morning. Brings our temperatures down Tuesday and the Wednesday, but they're pretty close to average. I mean, Wednesday even is only a couple 3 degrees off of normal. Our overnight lows pretty close to average. So yeah, it's going to be chillier than today, but it'll be seasonably chilly. And then after that, look at that Friday. We are almost 60 degrees. Got some shower chances Sunday, which we'll certainly take. Some shower chances next Wednesday, not a problem there. And long-range data has been suggesting a warm-up by next week, and it still looks to be there. Now, things can change. Hopefully they don't. Even if it changes, it doesn't change much. Maybe just a few degrees cooler if it has to be. But right now, 50s, low 60s by the second half of next week. So we will certainly get melting done. I think we're going to get most of it done today and for sure in the next couple of days. That is a check of your forecast. We have an entire hour remaining on the KOAM Morning News. That's coming up right after this.